Hey, good afternoon. Let's get this camera. I should get this camera sorted before I start doing anything. It's okay, it'll do. It's clear. I've got a bit of a sheen because I just worked out. In injury news, a couple of twinges, knees standard, but I think they're getting better. And this strain in my, I'm touching wood to say it seems to be easing off now. So whether I don't know, whatever I've done something. But anyway, hopefully it's getting better, so I can get back to more stringent workouts. I just did that was a bit of a killer. It's hot, isn't it? It's hot today. It's Sunday. It's 20 degrees, like 20 degrees, I think it's saying, or something like that. But it's a bit. There's a nice breeze when you're outside, but inside here in the dungeon, it's quite. So, but I like to do it with the door shut as well. Because it just, you sweat more. It just makes my workout harder. And yeah, I've got the old leg sweats and the arm sweats, and I've just had like 2 pints of water, and I'm treating myself to a Pepsi Max. It's like the fake sugar rush that you can have from after a workout. They say that you should. Floyd Mayweather, those of you who don't know him, he's like one of the greatest boxers ever. He what's that? Something's just notifications popped up. Oh, it's nothing. It's a Samsung one. That's fine. It's good me doing that. I'm just swiping on my screen. Yeah, he after a workout he'd have a can of Coke, full fat Coke, after like a hard. But they say that's good for you. It's getting like, you know, that sugar is good for you. But I mean, that's a boxing workout. That's like he's done like 15 hard rounds of sparring or some shit like that. So yeah, I can. His workout is slightly more strenuous than my half an hour or 45 minutes that I do. So, but yeah, sugar, it's the devil. It's horrible. You know what? I can't even take it anymore. But I think I talked about it before. When Mum put sugar in the tea, the couple of times she doesn't do it anymore. Not that she makes tea all the time. It's just when in the week when I'm working, she would ask if I want a cup of tea, and she'd make me a cup of tea, and she wouldn't put any sugar in it. But then on a weekend, for some reason, on a Saturday, she'd put sugar in it, and I'd like drink it, and I'd have 2 sips, and it feels like I've got a fuzz on my tongue. I said, if you put sugar in, she goes, yeah, I'd put a little bit in. I said, well, I don't have sugar. But she doesn't anymore, so it's all right. It's okay. I think I've weaned them all off it, or slowly. I mean, they still have it, but you have to have it in the house, I suppose, because other people want it when they do come. When people are allowed around. Yeah, but yeah, hope you're well. It took me too long. It took me nearly 3 minutes to ask if you're okay. I should be asking you first if you're okay. Are you okay? Are you well? How has the week been treating you? I know, I think generally the weather's been a bit better. Generally everybody's been fairly healthy as far as I know. People have told me. There's people are making plans again, which is nice. Some people, not everybody, but as best they can. People have been away. I've spoken to a couple of people within the UK. That is, they've had holidays, which is nice. And the weather's been nice as well, so it's been nice that people have been able to get away. I've seen some people. There's some weirdos on who do these. I know TikTok's weird anyway, but the people who do their TikToks and then share it to their Facebook stories and Instagram stories and stuff like that. It's like, don't do TikToks. I always see TikTokers for something for like teenagers to post on, especially teenage girls to post on. But you know, a younger crowd. Let's not limit it to teenage girls or teenage boys or whatever. Just a younger crowd. But some people, I don't know, maybe they think it's the same people who do who think they can sing, like you see on my X Factor. They think they're being really cool. You know, I've stayed away from TikTok altogether. Like, forget that. There's enough to bloody handle with the rest of this shit that we have. If I need the socials, then I'll have the socials. But I would just keep it as just keep it simple. Like I say, it's just the demographic. I think it's just it's targeted at a certain demographic. But if you want to see the best TikToks, it's one of the podcasts I always recommend is the Your Mom's House podcast, because some of the TikToks they show on there are unbelievable. and then if you watch the live show, then you'll see some awful shit. Not on TikTok. Actually, that's not TikTok. That's just general videos. But yeah, or just go for like, if you go on to, I think her Instagram stories are open. She curates some of the finer ones on her Instagram stories, so you see short clips of them. On it's Christina P. I think her name is Christina P on Instagram. Her name's Christina Pazitsky, but it's Christina P. She's a blonde lady. She's a comedian. But she put some of her TikToks on there. So funny. And just like you cringe watching them. It's just awful. But you know, each to their own, as they say. You carry on. It's not for me. But I will laugh at you. Not a lot bit going on really. Work, bank holiday weekend this weekend, which is nice. Nobody's doing anything, which is normal. I just cleaned the car and worked out. I'm gonna go for a monster walk in a bit because it's so nice. I think I can get a nice tan. I think. Yeah, get my tan back. Look at it. Look, I'm feeling looking all pale. Look how light my skin is there. Look how dark my forearms are. Yeah, be nice to get away though. Nice to have a break. Just a break. Just like no stress break. Not like I'm going out for the day, but you still have to go back to all this shit. It's like just don't have to worry about anything for a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Just that kind of break. Some good people, some good food, some drinks. It'd be heaven at the moment. I think it'd be heaven for everybody at the moment. I'll pick my people, thank you very much. You know who you are. Could be 1, could be 10. Yeah, there's so many. It'd end up being a massive party. One thing, because I was saying, I think I said it the other week, but I said it's been a year since I had a bit of therapy, counselling, same thing, isn't it really? And one of the things she said to me, the counsellor, that you're the kind of person, and that if anybody knows me, they would know this to be true. You're the kind of person that would go to a party and would have to go and speak to everybody. Which, as people who know me, is generally what happens. And but she said you never take the time to actually sit down and enjoy and take the time and sort of take in the atmosphere and things like that. Which is probably true as well. I think there's part of me thinks I'm being antisocial as well, and I'm not an antisocial person. I'm an Uncle Social. No, that's a shit joke. Yeah, I am that, but I do like that though. I like that about me. But then, I suppose there's a point of time where it becomes superficial. Like the conversations become superficial because it's like. Because you're going bouncing between people, you never have a sort of a more in-depth or have, take a bit more time with somebody to have a bit more of a conversation with them and learn about them. So it's like just kind of, how you doing? How's work? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, that on the surface conversation, you want a bit of depth, and you never have that when you're flitting around like a flea all around the place. When there's loads of people, when there's a few people, you can get away with it. And you can have more than one person within a conversation. So like say if there's like 12, 15 people, let's say, you can kind of talk to 3 or 4 people at a time, and then you have like a around the circle conversation. But when you're sort of in a part with music and stuff like that, you go do and then do and then do. That's me. I'm the. That's why everybody knows me. That's why I know so many people, because I talk to so many people, because I've got flipping verbals. I've got the verbals, and I'm a talker. So I've been listening to a lot of comedians. They always say that a lot of them do it because they have this need for justification, need to be liked. I think that's what I've got. I think I've got a need to be liked. I don't like it when people don't like me. It's like Raymond, for everybody loves Raymond. If you ever watch that, that's what he does as well. It's probably why I like the program. You kind of resonate with stuff that that you've seen yourself, and that's what I mean. That's what stand-up comedy is, I suppose. With a lot of people, when with observational comedians, they that's what I thought, and they find the funny out of it. And that's the same thing with like some funny programs, sitcoms and stuff like that. They'll find general things, because a lot of people feel the same about a lot of things, and it's like they'll hit on those little buttons, and you that's like me, that is, and you kind of then you relate, and that's what it is. That's the art, I suppose. I watched the Friends reunion the other day. That was, you know what, I was not surprised they weren't going to do another episode, because I think that would have been too much, because it's like a lot to get back into that mindset. And they explained why they didn't do another episode as well. So, and all the cast agreed that they didn't want to do another episode. But it was just nice. It was nice. What was really good was when they went around the world, and because Friends was it's an international hit, isn't it? And when they spoke to people, or they interviewed people from different countries, and like, you know, I love this, and I love this because, and I love this because, and it's like, and then some people were saying it taught me. I think there was some. I think it was that Korean group BTS, that massive boy band. Like I think some of them, and then some of the other just general members of the public, non-celebrities, had said that they taught them how to speak English, or helped them sort of on that road of learning how to speak English. And then there was like. Then it went from that, and then it went to some like deeper ones. There was a guy that had lost, or whose dad was, I think he'd been diagnosed with something sort of life threatening, and so he was saying that it was like he was obviously there was depression within him, and he was like struggling and seeing his dad passing away, or, you know, getting weaker and weaker, and it was like, and there was somebody said that they were suffering really bad and didn't have any friends. Suffering really bad with depression and all this sort of thing, and it was like that program. And I think you forget how good TV is, just general TV is, like that I was saying, that cheered them up, that helped them, and that it wasn't the only thing. It's not a cure for depression. It's just a thing that can help you through the day, a little thing, and those little things, and you can accumulate into a few more things. There's a little thing with that, and there's a little thing with this, and then somebody just saying something nice to you, somebody saying hello to you, somebody just noticing somebody. I remember that film, What Women Want, when there was that, when he can hear what women think, Mel Gibson, and there was the girl that nobody took any notice of, and then when he heard her thoughts, he helped her, because like she's like, oh yeah, nobody notices me, and he helped her, and like she goes, oh wow, somebody noticed me. And it's just something like that can make somebody's day, and something like that can turn people around, you know, if they're suffering. Just a smile. I know in some places it's like, I remember in London when we used to travel for work, and used to like London, and I've got this thing about and I do, if you make eye contact with me, I'm probably going to smile at you. Not probably, 99.99%. I'm gonna just smile at you. I might even say hello. So I did that in London, because I'm used to it from everywhere else. I did that in London. I did it in Birmingham. There was this place in Birmingham, like people just too busy. How busy are you? You can't smile at somebody. You can't just acknowledge somebody. You can't. You don't have to stand there and have a conversation with them. You can just go, yeah. Even that smile, the fake smile, that's something. At least it's that acknowledgement. And I remember doing it in London. People just looking at me weird when I did it on the tube. Because I'd never been, that was the first time I'd been on the tube, because in my 40s, and I'd never been on the tube. It's just I never had the need to, but I had to take it that time, and it was like, one, it was weird because you just seen all these people are just like, but it's like it was normal for them, and it's just that mundane, horrible commute, and it wasn't the nicest day that day either, and it was like you just see their faces, everybody's just sort of zombied. And I'm looking around going, because it was all a new experience to me, so I was like, this is interesting, because like, I've never been on a tube, this is what the tube's like. And then there was part of me going, I wouldn't like to do this every day, though. It's like, But and then if anybody sort of looked at me, I'm just looking around like a weirdo, and then the odd person will like, what's this guy doing? And I'll go, all right, and they just go, fucking. They didn't swear, but you know, I just felt like they thought that was always weirdos, these foreigners. These foreigners coming over and smiling at us, trying to cheer us up. How dare they? But yeah, like I say, it happened in Birmingham also. It's not that it's exclusive to London. London is more because there's a lot more people there, and there's a lot more commuting, I suppose, in and out of there. But yeah, I'm gonna smile at you. I'm gonna say thank you. You know what? Even in a shop the other day. Where was I? I can't remember which shop I was in. And I was really, I wasn't overly nice, but I was really, I suppose I was a little bit more polite than normal. Just, I don't know why. I just thought it was like, and I even said, and she's like, oh, thank you very much. I was like, oh, no, thank you, and have a great day. And she just, and like, you know, it just cheered her up. It's like, you know, I'm saying, she's been there sitting there all day. It's like, have a good day. And it's like, that's nice. Just be nice. I always say that, just be nice. That's all you have to do. It doesn't cost anything, does it? To make somebody's day. And then somebody might pay it forward and make somebody else, and then people will start, you know, and then somebody might do it to you, and you go, oh, that was nice of somebody. That was nice of somebody to say thank you. I will always say, I will always try and make your day. This is me trying to make your day, or make your week, or whenever you listen to this. If you ever listen to this, if you listen to this in 10 years' time, if you listen to this today, if you listen to this next week, this is just to cheer you up. And also, it cheers me up. I don't know why. I quite like doing it. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun, and you know, if it helps one person, it helps one person. What else we got going on? Tell you what. Yesterday, I watched on Netflix Black Summer, which is like a zombie program, and it's been a long time since I shouted at the screen so much. I was like, the zombie lore. There's zombie stuff that everybody knows. Shoot them in the head. And it's like, there were so many things in that program that pissed me off while I was watching it. So what are you doing? That doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. It was alright. I mean, just generally the whole story was alright. But it was just like, it was just frustrating watching it. Going, well, you've already learnt that. It's like, oh, mate. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it just in case anybody watches it. But just watch it and tell me. Tell me if I'm being a bit too pedantic about it. It's like, just Jiminy Cricket. Just shoot them in the head. Don't just stand there when you know they're going to turn. There was that as well. There was like, I'm looking at the wall for some reason. There was like that, you know, you can literally see, you literally know when they turn. And you're just standing there watching for what dramatic effect. It's stupid. That's not dramatic effect. That's just stupidity. But like I say, generally it was okay. But there was so many. It was been a while since I got. Oh, what are you doing? I kept on doing it. I watched the whole thing. I mean, they're only like sort of 20, 25-minute episodes. I think they're not long episodes. So you could say you like watching. I think it was like 8 episodes altogether. So it's like watching a long film, I suppose. A three and a bit hour film. But like I say, generally it was alright. But it was just so annoying. It's so annoying. Especially when, I mean, I haven't watched loads of zombie. I've watched enough zombie stuff, good zombie stuff. I never watched The Walking Dead or anything like that, but never really fancied it. I don't know why. But I do like Robert Kirkman, who's the creator of The Walking Dead. He did Invincible. But yeah, it's just that Black Summer it was called. But I'm trying to think what's on my list. There's a couple of things on my list I've got to watch. A couple of things I wasn't. Me and Amber were going through it yesterday, going, "Oh shit, I've got loads of stuff on my list." Some of it I've seen, and just left it on there just because I might go back. What did I go back and watch the other day? I've recently gone back and watched Man Down. But that was a few weeks ago. I watched Bottom again. That's great, that is. It's so funny, so stupid. I love all these stupid, silly programs. Bottom was great, and it's like you remember a Man Down as well. You remember Rick Mail from both of those. Rick Mail, what a ledge. There was what else did I watch? I've been watching Chappelle's Show, but I'll keep them because there's only 2 series, and I'm near the end of the second series now. So like, I don't watch them, binge watch them. I just watch an episode every so often. And they have made me like. I mean, you can say they're early noughties, aren't they? So they are. Some of it's a bit dated, but some of it is actually really funny. Some of it is it does make you laugh. Like I had a few chuckles on it on the one I watched the other day. And you got the Charlie Murphy stories on there, which are funny. Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy's Eddie Murphy's brother, for those of you who don't know, who was a comedian in his own right. A very funny one as well. What else did I watch? There was something else I watched as well. I want to go to the cinema. I want to see if I can go to the cinema next week. I missed the cinema, and it's open now, so I'm allowed to go. Good in it. Good in it. I'm trying to think. There was something else I was watching on the old Netflix, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, don't matter. SWAT, that TV series I watched. I think they've put the first 2 series on Netflix now as well. So if you ever fancied watching it, it's about the SWAT team in Los Angeles, and it means Special Weapons and Tactics, SWAT. So they're like the elite police. They're like the sort of Navy SEALs of the police, the SAS of the police that they'll bring in when there's something big going down. That the normal police can't have, so they've got special weapons and tactics. But yeah, that's it. It's, if you watch I think it used to be a series back in the day. Then they made the film with Samuel L. Jackson and Colin Farrell and LL Cool J, Michelle Rodriguez, and who else was in it? Jeremy Renner. I'm gonna name the cast. They were the main cast. And then they redid the series, like a newer version of the series, which like I say, it's like a little. It's not. Actually, to me, it's pretty good. It's decent. I like it. It's got action. It's got the stories, the individual stories of the. I like the way they adapted to COVID, because they had to stop filming, and then when they restarted filming and they were allowed to film again, they incorporated COVID into it. So, and the George Floyd murder into it as well. So that first series back, there was like a march and people wearing masks, and they were talking about COVID and about social distancing, which I thought was it was very cleverly done the way they wrote that in, rather than just ignoring it. We might as well sort of acknowledge it. But like I say, but then they brought in the politics of George Floyd and how the police, and them being police, and the leader of the SWAT team is a black officer, how it affects and the community, and him being a black officer, he's got 2 sides. So it was like, yeah, really, and they're not playing on it. They're using that as a story tool about race at the moment, which is a big thing within the episodes at the moment, especially how it just finished. But I'm not giving any away, but I thought it was very cleverly done, and they've done it before as well with other stuff within the series. But it's a good series, man. It's enjoyable. It's a decent watch that you don't have to take in too seriously. It's like a little police soap opera. Blacklist that's coming to the end as well. There's only 3 episodes left, I think. That's gone intense. That last episode was pretty intense. If you want to watch that, I'm a big fan of that. Billions hasn't come back yet. They got to stop filming that. I like that, but I think there's a delay on that because Damian Lewis is the main character in it, who's that ginger British actor who's been in loads of stuff as well. But his wife passed away recently, didn't she? I remember that being on the old Twitter, I think, because I follow him on Twitter. So there might have been a delay, but obviously with that period of time that he needs to deal with that. Shame, really. I don't think she was very old. I think she had cancer, and she was an actress as well. She's been loads. I can't remember her name either. But yeah, craziness. The craziness in the world, isn't it? With everything, a lot of craziness. I'm just hoping they can get rid of the COVID craziness and then just deal with the rest of it, because the rest of it's pretty dog shit, really, isn't it? And you don't need COVID to add on to it. Yeah, the politics, and somebody asked me to go into politics once, It's definitely not for me. Seriously. There's a couple of us that have been asked within our family have been asked to go into politics, and you should do that and that. I've got. You can say I've got a past, and they don't want to be digging into that shit. Nah, I haven't. It isn't that bad, but it's like, yeah, but because I mean, not that I would be of any prominence in terms of politics, but just let's play a thought experiment. Just imagine I did, and I got up to a decent level within politics, but then the higher you get, the more they look into your background, and or they'll find people that don't like you. That's what they do. They find people that don't like you, and they find people that don't like you, and they'll talk shit about you. Or people who are just jealous, and they'll just talk shit about you. Generally, the people who are jealous don't like you. But yeah, it's a slippery slope, as they say. I wouldn't want to do it. It's like I'm just plenty. Unfortunately, or fortunately, like many people, I am at the moment, especially now, I would say I'm politically disenfranchised. I don't trust any party at the moment. I don't trust anything that they say, especially with everything that's going on recently. I don't think anything that they do. I don't think anything that they do benefits. I'm not saying every single politician. There are some good politicians out there, and some reasonable politicians out there. But a lot of them, it seems like it's very self-serving or serving their party rather than serving the public. And that's regardless of party. That's not saying which party you're part of, but it's just very self-serving. And I was talking to shout out Brian Clayton the other day about the politicians, like within America, when they say that the president should be the best of us. Like our politicians should be the best of us because we've voted those people in. They should be the people. They are the people that we deem the best. So the best to do these things that we want them to do, and they're not. By 1,000,000% they're not, and that's a lot of them. Some of them, like I say, some of them I'm not going into names of who's bad and who's good, because you can figure that out yourself, who you think is, because it's opinion as well, isn't it? But yes, and then or they'll get slandered if they're doing something good. They'll get slandered. That's the worst thing as well with some of the media. It's like but then you see where the politics and the media cross over, because they give them stories and stuff like that, so they'll give them a positive spin, or they won't be so negative. My son was getting potatoes. He's going to make something to eat for himself, probably. Or he's going, Grandma, can you make me this? 1 second. Yeah. So anyway, politics. Yeah. So good people, bad people. And unfortunately, there seems like a lot more bad people than good people. Bad in the way that they're looking at see how it can benefit them, how it can benefit their party, and not benefit the public. So I've repeated myself what I said before. So what have I said about economy of words? Remember that. It's just So you got it. I trust you to get it. I mean, somebody did that to me the other day on the phone. They're explaining something to me, and then they explained it again and explained it 4, 5 different times, and to the point where I went, I got it. So move on. But it's like, I got it. What you're saying, the same thing. Yeah, so I got the tub, and I put the ice cream in the tub. Yeah. And then what happened? And then so the ice cream, it was in the tub, and then I put it in there. Yeah. Oh fuck's sake. I don't need to know more about the ice cream in the tub when you talk about a car. Economy of words. Yeah, I'm learning that myself. Like I say, I'm hyperbolic on the best of times. No, I talk too much sometimes. Not sometimes, all the time. But yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap, and it's because you want to talk about the situation. I understand it a little bit as well, but it's like it's not efficient. I think we should all be a bit more efficient with our words, and with the type of words that we use as well. I see nice is making a comeback. It's nice. I've just heard a lot of people saying it. I've heard nice is coming back. As a but they're using it as a, from what I've heard. I mean, I'd say nice in the States. Generally, a lot of our the sort of popular words like that will come from like media people and stuff. And I've heard a few people saying, like, when they're talking about, say for instance, we were talking about Floyd. I was talking about Floyd Mayweather earlier, the boxer, and somebody said, oh, he's nice with his defense. It's like in that way they were talking about it. Yeah, football. Oh yeah, that the way he took that shot was nice, like that. So yeah, it's nice as making but that's good. It's bringing it down, because it was like before it was talk about hyperbole. It was, you would go. I mean, Louis C.K. does a joke on it about that. About we go straight for the top shelf with our words, like genius, calling anybody. What did he say? He said. Before to be a genius, you have to invent like a word or invent a number. Now it's like, dude, I put an extra cup just in case we need another cup. Dude, you're a genius. That's his joke. You can look it up. But that, yeah. So using the word, word top shelf. No, you're just normal. You just thought of a good idea. You had a good idea. You're not a genius. Genius means something completely different. Hilarious was the funny one that he talked about. But yeah, just be nice with your words. Be nice. Just be nice. Be nice and be nice with everything that you do. And then, yeah, positive. I've made a few steps this week to be a bit more. Let me think of the word. Not positive. I'm fucking positive. How much more positive do you want me to be? For God's sake. Proactive. Yeah, I'm taking steps to be more proactive and get moving. Moving on up. No, I'm not gonna sing that song. That brings back bad memories. And I'll tell you about it one day. Some people might know. I was just thinking of a story the other day. Not a story, like just, you know, when you're just sitting there and you're reminiscing in your own head about stuff. And I remember when we were younger. I remember I told the story about the old catching our mate having a quick. I remember we were walking. There was like a group of us, I would say, well, probably around that age, so 13, 14, maybe. Yeah, probably around that age. Sort of, yeah, 14-ish. Excuse me. We were walking down the road, and it was winter time in terms of it was dark after, by about 6 o'clock it was dark. So we were walking down the main road about 6 o'clock. And there was definitely 5 of us, probably 6 of us. And just a core group of us. So there's me and my 2 best mates, Jang and Homie. I'll mention their names because I've mentioned them now. But how it was, this isn't how we defined ourselves, but in terms of our running, I was the one who could sprint. I was the fastest sprinter. But then, yeah, mine was very short distance. I was explosive enough to kill them on a sprint. Harmy was the long distance. He was the man of energy. He would just go, carry on. He would just go forever. He was like the Duracell bunny. We'd just stick the batteries in it and he would just carry on going. But he didn't have the speed, but he had the stamina and he could keep on going. And Jang was the efficient one. He would just be efficient with his running. He wasn't the fastest sprinter and he wasn't the most long, but he was efficient, so he could. He just used his energy when he needed to use his energy. That's how I worked it out. And but that day, but he could run fast because they're brothers. He could run faster than his brother in terms of a sprint, but he could never. He probably wouldn't be able to stamina wise keep up with him, but he could run faster than him. So we stupidly. It's one of the stupid things you do as a kid, but stupid thing we were doing as a kid. So we were walking down the road and we were spitting at cars. You think about it, what are you doing, you dickheads? And so we were spitting at cars, and it was quite dark. It wasn't quite dark; it was dark. So it was spitting at cars. So we're walking down spitting at cars. I'm trying to get it on the windscreen, and so we're doing it. Then there was this one magical point that we must have all done it exactly at the same time, and we all hit exactly at the same time on the one car, and we were like, "Oh mate, we just hit the car." Like I said, there was 5 or 6 of us, and the car stopped. Oh shit, the car stopped. So we're walking that way, and it's obviously driving up, so we're walking there, and the car stopped, and we shit ourselves. Like 14 years old, maybe it was 1 person or 2 people or 10 people in the car, 3 people, whatever. But the car stopped, and we shit it. and then we legged it. So we scattered, right? But that day, I never seen Harvey run faster than me ever. We were sprinting away, obviously, because the guy was chasing us. He went like Usain Bolt would now. I think I likened him to Linford Christie of that era. But now you would think Usain Bolt, because he just. I never seen the man have that energy in his legs to sprint. He outpaced me. He's faster than me. He just legged it past me. And then the car stopped to turn around, and then it came after us. So we ran down the road. Like some had run over that way. I'm not going to say where we were. Run over that way and jumped over a wall, and either they were hiding behind the wall or they'd run off behind the wall. We kind of just scattered. We didn't have mobile phones and either to coordinate each other. So I just ran down the road, and then the car followed us. There was 3 of us, me, Harmy, and somebody else, maybe 4 of us. And we're like, and you hear the car behind us, and I'm like, oh shit! And it was a dead end, that road was. But if we could get to the end, it was like it'd go into some paths and stuff that your car couldn't go over there. And then I thought, in fairness, my brain did work that day. If he ain't gonna have time to turn around, if we change direction and go back towards the main road, he won't be able to stop. He'd have to stop and turn around and come back after us before he's even realised, or even just getting out of the car. He'd have to get out of the car and run after us and leave his car there. And so I stopped and turned around, and they all stopped and turned around and followed me. And then the car had gone past us, and then he had to turn around. And then by the time he turned around, we'd gone on the main road, and we'd hid in some bushes, like jumped over a fence and hid in some bushes, like quite far back. But we proper shit it that day. It was so stupid. We don't recommend doing that, and I do regret doing that. But it was just, I always remember it for the speed that he ran. I know he never ever ran faster than me again, except for that one day. And that turn of speed, we don't know where it came from. That it was like fight or flight. That was pure fight or flight. That was the flightiest I've ever seen him. And spitting on windscreens is not recommended. Spitting on moving cars is not recommended. We weren't throwing stuff. It was horrible. Imagine that, 6 teenage slobbers over your car windscreen. I probably would stop now and sell. I ain't got anything against that, but I'm glad you didn't catch us, because you probably would have beat the shit out of us. But yeah, that was another silly. It just came. That story just came to me for whatever reason. It just popped into my head. But anyway, I'm gonna have some lunch. So, because I'm hungry. I've been taking bone broth. Look that up. It's crazy. It's meant to be it says no odour and no taste. There is. I suppose if you mix it in with something else, like with a smoothie or something like that, you probably won't. But if you just have it with water, which I've just done, because I have it in my pills and stuff in the morning. The reason I'm having it's got good protein in it, and it's also got collagen and stuff in it as well, so it's good for your ligaments and stuff. So I'm hoping that it's helping like my joints and stuff, that the aches that I've got with my knees and stuff. And they seem to be getting better, but I'm exercising on them as well. Exercising to knee-heb them. Hashtag knee-heb. But yeah, it's not a pleasant taste. I have to block my nose. I have to do the old block the nose and drink it. Otherwise, I won't be able to drink it. And I sound like a beetle without the Scouse accent. That's what they sound like. That's what you do. You block your nose when you. Oh, I can't do this. I can't. The Scouse accent's gone. But anyway, yeah, it's good for you, but it doesn't taste nice. Yeah, so I was looking for the fairy. I was cleaning the mats, the fairy, the washing up liquid. I was cleaning the mats because it had oil on them. I thought mats for the car. That's meant to degrease, isn't it? So I thought I'd use that. What was I going to say? Anyway, yes. So it's time to eat now. So I will love you and leave you, and I'll catch up with you soon. Goodbye. Miss you.